Hello, welcome to Angel Readings with Nikki. Now I'm going to try something a little bit new today. So my plan is we'll start by shuffling all of the cards. So it's going to take a bit of time and I'll have to make a little bit of room to do that as well. And then I'm going to draw a card as I feel intuitively drawn to it for each month of the year. So I just have to make a little bit of room. So, and we're not predetermining any particular deck for a month. I'm just going to be taking the top card off as we go through. And I want to, if I feel like a split, we'll do a split as well. So now I'll stand these ones over here while I make a bit of room. As always, I call on angels and archangels, spirit guides, guardian angels, positive elements with this reading. As always, I bring reiki healing to the reading, which is a lovely healing, a very, very gentle healing energy. It can do no harm. I am kind of a little bit tight for space, but that's okay. I'll do these ones like this. It'll be fine. And because we're not doing it like this, we're not reading cards that jump out the pack. I am doing it differently. But I will split these cards. We'll put these like this, and once we've sort of got to this stage, the cards are ready and we'll be picking them intuitively as we're going along. I'm a little bit tight for space. Okay. Put them there. And this is the first time I've done this, so this is a little bit really, I can't say this word, experimental. And we'll just see what comes up. This will be a reading for any messages, guidance, advice, messages for the corresponding month of the year for whichever card comes up. So I think I've got two more decks that I want to bring in as well, so I'll have to just bring them over. So I'll pop these to one side so I need enough room. To bring these two in. So I'll pop that one there for a minute while I do these. Just because I want as much of a mix and a choice as possible. I had sort of this whole idea I was just drifting off to sleep last night, and I literally saw myself doing this, so I thought, you know what, why not, let's give it a go. And I've not done this before, and who knows if we'll be doing it again, but let's just give it a go, let's try it, why not. So okay, so and what I'm going to be doing, they're all shuffled, and I'll be saying January, February, March, and as I'm saying the month, I'm going to intuitively pick the card that I feel is for that month. There isn't one card per month, so some decks might not be used at all, and some decks may be used more than once, and we'll just go with that. So January, and I have to remember the order I'm picking them up in. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Okay, I'll stand all of these out of the way so that we can have our reading and have a look at our cards. Don't need too much room, but we need enough to be able to look at the cards, and I've got all of them out, so we'll be standing a few on top of each other. Right, and we're reading it this way, so we've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, backwards, July, August, September, October, November and December. So starting with January, we've got the mushroom, which is, I mean, on the card it says it's recycling and breaking down problems, which, but I'm kind of hearing, don't bite off more than you can chew. So it's kind of, the energy for that feels like, don't look at the year as a whole, which is ironic because that's exactly what we're kind of doing, but don't look at the year as a whole. Do little things. And I'm literally hearing January isn't a time where people want to start making big changes and doing big dramatic things. It's kind of like a hibernation month where people want to do not as little as possible, but they're kind of they're within ourselves. Where some people, they really feel a little bit quieter and a little bit subdued, and it's not so much as January blues or depression or just feeling down or the weather. It feels like a hibernation month, and a hibernation within yourself where you just have a quiet, slower pace of life. And that's what we're picking up with this card, and that's what I'm getting is do something small. So you at the beginning of January, you have these great big grand gestures of what's your New Year's resolution, what are you going to do different for the whole year. And actually it's a little bit too soon to be making those things, because you should be doing that further along in the year. January is just making little changes. So it's not about joining the gym and doing everything with great gusto. It's actually picking up something that you can do small, something easy, kind of like a building block up to a bigger change. And this is one of the things. So what I'm feeling is, if you want to eat healthier, for example, start doing that now. But you don't have to do the whole sweeping change. You can start introducing small things like, so I don't know, supposing you want to eat less red meat, then don't cut out red meat completely this month. Maybe just buy more fruit, more vegetables, more chicken, more fish, and do the bigger change later. And your body will thank you, because a whole diet adjustment is quite harsh on your body. So just do it a bit at a time. What I'm also getting is more sort of worldwide is there are some serious talks going on. And it's going to affect us a lot. It's going to affect us in June. There are serious talks going on with world governments, and we're going to hear about it in June. I'm hearing the word devastating, in that it's going to alter a lot of people's lives. It's going to affect a lot of people. I'm getting people bulk buying and panicking. You don't actually have to bulk buy, you don't have to panic, but the energy, that kind of energy is going to be prevalent in June. So I would say, be frugal, be careful, and maybe instead of going out bulk buying, maybe buy 1 or 2 little things now. You've got plenty of time. 1 thing a week, 1 thing a month. It might be the difference between, and make sure it's something that you're going to use anyway, but it will be the difference between you panicking or not. And we need to bring the panic energy down in June. We need to keep it calm. It's actually just it's a spiritual shift, but the governments are obviously resisting that, and it's going to bring, they're going to panic us, because that's what they want to do. Rather than us having a spiritual shift, they would rather panic us and hold us down to a lower energy. We don't want to be held down to a lower energy, so we're going to buy something each week, so that when they bring the panic into our environments, globally, it won't be such a big panic for us. We'll be able to manage it, we'll be able to cope, we'll be able to deal with it, and that will keep our energy keen and level, and we'll be able to carry on with our spiritual involvement. That's the way to fox them. Now, February. This is going to be a slightly more vibrant month. Anything that you've been planning, go for it. That's what it says, go for it. So some people have been making plans. So some people at the end of this month, they want to move. You've had enough of the city life and you want to get out. Fine, go for it. I highly endorse that. If you want to move out of the cities and the towns, and you want a quieter life, and you want to change the whole way of your life and make better financial and living choices for your family, you absolutely should. So if that's been going on in your mind and you've been thinking about it and toying with that idea, go for it. You're thinking about it for the right reasons. You know what your reasons are, and the advice is make that change, make it now. Start your plans in February. Now, the talks that were happening in January, it feels quiet. I can't feel that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that's going to come out for us in February. It's like a shield's been put up, a cloak. So everything's very much behind closed doors, and it's very need to know. There is an energy there. I think in the UK, I think something's happening within the government. and I'm seeing waves, like at sea, waves. So something's going to happen in the UK government in February that's going to make waves. Now, on this card, this is March, and it's forgiveness seeking freedom and healing card. There's something about the energy, the turquoise energy here. See, I'm seeing a beach, but this is a forgiveness seeking freedom and healing card. So in my mind, what I've got is I've got a beach and I've got the fresh air coming across the sea, and I think it's like it's drawing in. The person standing on the beach is breathing in really deeply the fresh air coming across the sea. I think it's winds of change, especially with the tidal cycles and everything. I think it's the winds of change. So I think we've got winds of change, and this is for globally and on an individual level. So I think this card is for like a dual purpose in that respect, in that we've got the winds of change and a natural cycle, cleansing. It's such a strong energy. It's going to be really uplifting. So we've got the winds of change. It feels like it's like this ebb and flow, this tidal movement where you go with it and everything's fine. There's a no choice in the matter, as it were. It's a push along. It's a lifting and a pushing along energy. So it's positive. We want it. We've got the winds of change, and it's such a high energy. And I would advise and encourage anyone who can, like on a crest of a wave, if you can ride the high of that energy in March, I absolutely would advise it, because it's going to carry us forward, like on a wave. It's going to carry us forward, and it's a winds of change. It's almost like using a wave to skip 3 hurdles. So there's 3 hurdles here, and if you can kind of embrace the winds and the energy, these 3 hurdles, you're going to, instead of having to jump them and deal with them individually, you can almost flow over them. So if and I'm hoping you can, and if you can feel this high energy in March, like ride the wave, take it, go with it, don't question it, don't be too analytical. Why is this? Don't have any negative thoughts about it. Don't look for problems. That's kind of the message here. Don't look for problems in March. Ride the wave and accept the winds of change, and go. Don't fight it. Don't try to go back. Ride the wave and skip. You're going to be skipping hurdles, and it's going to carry you forward. So instead of, if you jump the hurdles, you'll land here. If you ride the wave, you're going to end up here. And that's the energy for March, and absolutely embrace it. Now in April, it's kind of the opposite. It's like take a few steps back, hold fire, and that's what I'm hearing, hold fire. Now I don't know if that's a global thing, hold fire, but it's I see more on an individual level. So you've ridden that wave. April is when you are going to apply caution, hold back, hold fire, don't rush into things, read all the small print. If somebody's offering you something that's too good to be true, read the small print, it probably is. Heed more caution in April. Then we've got May, which is strangely lonely, so you're holding on too tight. So you're carrying, it's a case of not carrying that April energy forward. Now you're holding on too tight. So you've been cautious in April, you've read your small print, you haven't jumped into any wild ventures because you've been cautious. But now, and don't do it all at once, but slowly over May. It's like, just be a little bit more trusting. But I feel there is a danger lurking in the background. We're going to start getting a trickling of rumours coming out from the governments. Truths are going to start being emerging, and this is why we're holding on too tight, because we're unsure and wary as these truths and this information starts trickling out of the governments. Listen, observe, and hear everything that's happening, but take a seat back and just watch it like a bit of a popcorn moment. Sit and watch, observe, listen, pay attention. I encourage you to think, pay attention, use your common sense. Don't be tricked, don't be lulled into a false sense of security, but also don't react. Importantly, don't react, and don't make hasty decisions. Then we're coming on to June. It feels like there's something missing here. Something's missing here. Weirdly, I want to use both of these cards for June. So they're both working together. So we've got the sea turtle, which is protection, and we've got the waning moon, which is introspection and self-inventory. And I want to use both of these cards for June. And that wasn't the plan, but that's what we're getting. So in June, you need to. There's going to be. I feel like the word misinformation is coming out. And we need to protect ourselves. Like the turtle, we need to have a hard shell and we need to protect ourselves. But also, like the turtle, that not dig deep, but they can kind of swim deep and go underneath all the currents and the nonsense and transport themselves to where they need to be. And I kind of feel that's the energy. So it's go deep, protect yourself, go deep. Don't get drawn into the political currents and the nonsense and all the crap on the surface. And then we've got the waning moon as well. Let it go. Just let it pass you by. Don't get drawn into it. Don't get. It's like the governments are going to be bringing all this misinformation, which is kind of designed to divide and conquer, and kind of go deep. Almost I can hear like muffled voices, so it's like, don't listen, go deep, go underneath all the political currents and just ignore them. Just ignore them. Don't fall for the propaganda and the nonsense, and go deep and don't listen to them. So what I will be doing is I will probably be drawing a different card or something for November, because we've used both of these cards now. Then we're bringing in July, which is backwards. So if this card had come this way up, it would be lavender, tranquility, kindness, self-care, but it's the opposite of that because it was upside down. So this energy is carrying into July as well. So we've got it's turmoil, there's a bit of anger and hatred on the surface, and people are generally not taking care of themselves or their environment, or not necessarily the environment, but their environment. And And that's because of what's been happening in June. It's caused a turmoil because not everyone is going to ignore them, and a lot of people are going to be reactive and falling for the crap, and it's going to cause a bit of turmoil. And all this is happening in the summer, so you need to think to yourselves, what are they hiding? June and July, what are they hiding? What are they causing a distraction for? Because they're causing a distraction, and all this sort of low level infighting, or trying to divide and conquer, that's like a burying old news, and that's what it feels like. There's something going on, and it's the height of summer, so it's whereas people should be relaxed and happy and enjoying themselves, they're kind of causing a mini pandemonium. And you have to look behind. I'm seeing the curtain. It's like trying to look behind the scenes. What are they hiding? Something's being buried over June and July that they don't want us to know about. So bear that in mind. Then we're bringing in August, which is Angel, Raise Your and Have Faith. Things are going to start settling down in August. It's not going to be so bad. What we've got here is we've got like it's a have faith and a looking across. This is like us viewing the world as angels do, and they're looking across and they're sending us positive energy, and that's literally how I feel it's going to be. Is angels and lighter energies, not necessarily angelic, but lighter energies are going to be sending positivity towards the earth, calming the situation down. They don't like what they're seeing and hearing, and they're calming it down. And the light energy that's coming across and transcending is going to be so positive. It's almost restful. After these 2 months, it's almost restful, like I can relax and breathe again, because this is going to feel like a heightened state of alert. It's really invasive, and this is like the soothing waters coming in afterwards. And that's not actually being done by governments. That's actually angels and light workers and light energy that's coming in to soothe the waters. Now, I'm going to bring another card in for September, because we used our September card up here. I want to keep the energy of this one, but I want to bring a card in from here. So we've got passion, empathy, entrepreneur and driven. But also I want to bring in a little bit of this turtle card, which is protection. And the colour is gold. So September feels a kind of, it's a high energy. I can see that this is the colour gold, but it's kind of got the high energy, high yellow energy about that month. But there's also, now the protection is coming from here. That's why I want to bring this energy forward. So this energy is carrying forward into September, but the energy, it's an uplifting, bright yellow, warm energy. But it's a busy energy. The September feels busy. Busy, productive, for all of the right reasons. Someone's going to make an announcement in September. It will change how we live. It will change how we live. I'm seeing the letters AI, so I'm wondering if it's something to do with that. I'm wondering if Elon Musk is behind it. But it's going to change how we live, and it's such a fast-paced, high energy. It just feels powerful. Like, we've got epiphany. So it's like how you live and how you do things. It's going to completely change. There's angelic work and light workers work going on in this. I would say, although it's not on this card, I would say that it's hopeful and powerful. They've got passion. I would say it's very powerful. It's epiphany. In that fight, it's like something clicked, and there's a new way. There's a new way of doing things, and it's like click, and that's the energy that's coming in. It's a very, very forceful, bright, working energy. And I wonder if that's because it says driven on this card as well. I do think Elon Musk is involved. I see X as well. I think that's definitely a month to watch. I feel like we've got money involved. There's going to be a huge amounts of money being spent. Huge amounts of money are going to be spoken about. Like, pay all these millions and trillions to do this, to achieve this. So much money. It's going to feel like money's being thrown around. Money's going to be thrown at us. Do this and you'll reap these awards. But it's not like spiritual rewards. It's actual cold hard cash. So that's coming in. We've got October, which is the healing and the mother energy. It's embracing. So we've got like a spiritual embracement coming. And I would like to put my hands and like this, like shielding people from energy that's coming from this way. I'm seeing I'm seeing China and Russia, so kind of over here, and there's a protection energy around it. So I wonder if there's going to be developments there. That's October. I'm hearing the word desperation for them. Desperation. But also, it's like, don't say too much. I mean, it's like I'm covering the card. It's like, I'm literally I'm hearing in my ear, don't show your hand. Don't show your hand. So keep things quiet. Be very cautious. Because some people over here are feeling very desperate, and I'm getting aim, fire. So just keep quiet, keep it under wraps. So we'll be cautious then. That's October. November is intention. So this is our light workers. So November is our month for all our light workers. They're going to be sending positive intentions out across the world, bringing the year in, sending out new intentions. So I'm looking at this and I'm feeling that the light workers are sending a bubble of protection around. There's so much heat and warmth and love in this bubble. Just gonna hold that, put a lid on it, calm everything down. I'm hearing stop, think, calm down, overreaction, and a huge bubble of counter intention, and peace and calm is being sent, and it's going to be really effective, and it's really going to work. And it's like, calm down. It's like the energy I'm getting from this is like when you put a child to bed and you read them a bedtime story, and you can literally see them relaxing and closing their eyes and relaxing and falling asleep and settling in for the night. And you can see that they as much as they resisted going to bed, this going to bed and having a bedtime story and relaxing was the best thing for them, and it's what they actually needed for their own greater good. And that's what I'm picking up from this card here, is all positive intentions and calming, relaxing energies being sent. And it's like they're like children being put down to bed to sleep for the night, and it's like everything has just calmed right down, and they needed this energy to be sent. And it's such a lovely energy. It's so peaceful, it's so calm, it's stabilizing. It's such a stabilizing energy. Then we're coming into December, which is transmutation, and Archangel Michael is stepping in. We're going to be ending the year on a high. The energetic shift has happened. We're actually being, the spiritual progression and the spiritual awakening and moving on has happened now. We're there. We've all been lifted higher. It's kind of like learning to live with and it sounds daft. It's like trying to live with a new pair of shoes after you've been wearing the same stole, but the soles have worn down low, and then you put a new pair on, and you're suddenly an inch taller, and you didn't realise how worn out those last shoes were until you put new ones on, and suddenly everything feels higher and taller and fresher. And that's kind of the energy we're getting for December, and it's like we're all lifted. And the energy's higher, and I'm hearing people saying, what was all the fuss about? What was all the fuss about? Everything's fine. What was all the fuss about? And not realizing how much they progressed spiritually and how close to conflict they were in December. And it's like, well, what was all the fuss about? Because we seemed to sail through it, but so much happened, and we feel like we sailed through it, and we would have overcome a conflict. We've overcome a negative energy here, and we've overcome a negative energy here, and we've actually also spiritually been lifted because we ignored a load of nonsense here. We rode the wave. And then we're in December, and we're like standing taller in our new shoes, and we're like, don't know what all the fuss was about. So that's December. So we'll rewatch this video as the year progresses to see how accurate and how perfect, especially the summer, how perfectly aligned these cards here are to follow the progress. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I've enjoyed doing it. This is the first time I've ever done a spread like this and used the cards like this. Thank you for watching.